If you were to ask me, what's one of the greatest risks that you've ever taken that made the biggest difference in your life? I would tell you that it was the day I started my silent practice. I didn't want to call it meditation because at the time I thought meditation was for weirdos. I was 3 years into being a full-time financial advisor. I enjoyed working from home. My business was successful. I cared deeply about my clients, and I loved providing financial education. And everything was going great. So what was going on inside of me? Honestly, I didn't know. I couldn't explain it. I knew that I wanted more in my life, more joy. I wanted to experience complete joy and bliss. So why was I being so hard on myself? See, I set my own expectations, my own goals. No one was pressuring me except me. Can you relate? It took me a while, but I finally realized that I needed to get out of my own way. I knew that there was something deeper I needed to focus on. I needed to look inward, to the real me, whoever that was. I listened and I followed my intuition. Now, even though I didn't know what the heck I was doing back in October of 2018, I started doing something brand new. I found a quiet spot in my home and I set my phone timer for 5 minutes. And then I asked this question, who am I? I sat there quietly and listened. I kept doing it day after day. I was determined to find out who I really was. I called this time my silent practice. You see, I was so busy in my work that I had to practice being silent and listening. It wasn't hard, but it took me a while to get used to it. And even though I didn't know it at the time, this silent practice was actually the beginning of my spiritual journey. A journey that led me to understand who I really am and realize my soul's calling, my destiny, which resulted in me selling my business. For the first 90 days or so, when I asked the question, who am I received a word or a phrase. I heard it in my mind. It wasn't weird or anything. It felt natural and normal. Within 5 minutes, I would hear a soft voice. It's like the word just kind of dropped down into my consciousness. At first, I thought it was really fun, and then I got so excited that I couldn't wait for the next morning. Some of the words that I heard were teacher, strong, driven, at peace, thankful, creative, generous, a servant, and sincere. This silent practice was life-changing for me. You see, I began to put less emphasis on conditions, circumstances, and situations that were completely outside of my control. And I began to place my focus on the inside where I have all control. I discovered my connection to God's spirit universe, source, whatever you want to call all that is. You see, it has nothing to do with religion. It's nothing that's outside of me. Instead, I was experiencing God's spirit universe inside of me. The answers that you are looking for are inside of you too. You might not have a specific question that you want to ask, so feel free to borrow mine. Who am I? And you can also ask questions like, what's my destiny? What's my purpose? Now it's your turn. Set your timer for 5 minutes and listen. Do this consistently, and it's usually better if you can do it first thing in the morning. Now, even if your mind doesn't get quiet at first, it's okay. It is still working. You're opening up your connection to who you really are, your higher self. Trust the process and allow your expansion to happen for you. I can't wait to hear how it goes for you. Please make sure and leave comments so I know how your silent practice is going. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon.